Well, if we're the residents or association, it'll be more structured and organised rather than just waiting on someone else to approach for a new event to happen. This way, at least every month we'll get together, we'll sit around the table and we can organise for the present and the future.
As far as I know, there isn't a residents' association on our street, although last summer we tried for the first time, me and my neighbours, to get all the neighbours that we sort of knew together for a summer supper. And there were about 25 people there out of the street, and everybody said, including a woman who's lived in the street for 35 years, why have we never done this before? And all sorts of people met each other and found stories about the street and connections and stuff like that. So we thought we'd do it again next year.
The resident association can actually get an insight of what's going on around the neighbourhood and what needs to be improved. It's a good idea to have that, just now and again going around, asking people what they think, what needs to be improved.
Common aims for them to gather together and reach that aim. Without the common aim, I don't think that will be possible, because there must be something, and everybody from different background get benefit from that. That will be I think one of the possibility.
That's the most important thing. Yeah, it's a very good idea. Yeah, because when people are together, they put their ideas together, and as they say, together we are stronger.
We used to have the Dagmar with the Prince of Wales. There was another pub on the corner. Well, the private sector must support them over. And what they build, flash flats that no one can afford. Well, a person like me can't afford it.
The detail that we generally have. Then we have elections for the official officers of the association, which are the secretary, membership secretary, chair, treasurer. Our first general meeting was on the 24th of September last year, and then we followed that. That was when we kind of decided to get going as an association. Then we followed that with what we've been calling organising meetings, which are smaller meetings for people who want to get more actively involved.
Haringey covers an area of about 11 square miles in the north of London, and it has a very diverse population of about 250,000 people.
It started with a local meeting, and we leafleted people in the streets around for that. We got quite a lot of interest, and we started off then finding out what the things were that people were interested in. But the main thing that attracted people, I think, at the beginning was an issue with our local sub-post office, which was very popular, and it was very suddenly overnight closed down. So we got kind of publicity and some visibility, and something that everybody felt strongly about. And unfortunately we didn't win that one. The post office stayed closed, but it rallied a whole lot of people together.
Residents' associations develop in many different ways and different situations. Sometimes they grow out of a big issue in a local area, a single campaign, and then people realise they want something more long-term. Sometimes it can come out of a social event where people feel a need that to strengthen their local community and get people together. And sometimes it's just 2 or 3 people meeting in someone's house and say, you know, we need a lot of improvements in our area, let's form an association, call a public meeting and get moving.
The Gardens Residents Association started about 5 or 6 years ago. Initially it was quite a large group of people who met at a meeting that was called really to discuss problems with traffic in the area, and as a result of that meeting the association was formed. So we've gone on to deal with traffic calming in the area, really in collaboration with the council, kind of pointing them towards possible solutions. And we've also created a community garden for local residents, which is on a piece of disused land next to the railway line. And we've acted as a kind of go-between really between the residents and the council in matters such as rubbish and other sort of matters relevant to local residents.
It was actually a CPZ campaign that started the association becoming involved together, because it was a rather draconian CPZ scheme that the council wanted to impose. And that united everybody totally.
Yeah, I've been the chair for the Resident Association for the past 10 years. I became the chair since 1994. And what I've learned that there's been a tremendous change. Because what I learned when I came to live here in 1990, that even the Haringey Council was trying to demolish this estate and rebuild it. But because due to the initiating of some of the residents, the activists, then the change started.
Many associations around the borough, particularly in the east of the borough, are based on council housing estates and often focus on the need to pressurise and work with the council and council officers to improve housing services and conditions.
The only time you get a letter from council is if your poll taxes he's paying or your rates or whatever. Nothing else. We're not involved with our councils. We don't get a say.
They don't plan for the future. They'll say, okay, we'll dig this road up today, spend, say, 100,000 in a month. And then again, 3 months later, they'll find that, oh, we missed something, and they'll dig up the same bit again. And then they use another 100,000.
It's hard for me to make a general point, but specifically, I think the way the stuff about parking is being conducted in the town hall is an absolute disgrace. That the decisions are only being made because Haringey wants to get itself out of debt.
I think they do listen, but many times they don't act upon people's complaints. Yeah.
Well, today we've been removing graffiti from shop fronts in Muswell Hill Broadway. To cut a long story short, we were supplied with kits of chemicals to remove graffiti by Haringey Council, and we started out each Tuesday morning, did a couple of hours every morning, gradually worked our way around the Broadway, clearing off all the graffiti. Now we're in the position where the Broadway is really clear. A little bit comes back each week. We get rid of that on our Tuesday morning rounds, which takes a little bit more than an hour probably, and we cover quite a big area.
Well, when we started, the council really wasn't doing this very much. It has improved, and these days they're doing a lot more. But we felt that for the small amounts of graffiti on the shop fronts, we were perfectly capable of doing that. And we wanted to show that the Fortis Green Association could provide volunteers and leave the large amounts to the council.